Hello, everybody. Working on it.
You should be good.
There it goes. All right. Woo, 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 woo. Hello, everybody. We're working on getting everybody in here. The joys of the digital world. Yeah, so I don't think that top one, I don't think the TV's on.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That looks like it's going on. There we go. Hello, everybody. Come on in. Evening. You must be in Europe somewhere. Good morning, good evening, and good night. All right. The Truman Show. Oh, I'm excited. We have some new stuff. You probably already see and guessing what it is here, right? But yes, welcome everybody. We have 3 new trees available. And I'll leave this one backwards. Well, no, I'll do it forwards first. Here we are. And, I've been waiting everybody's been asking for more trees. And, I wanted to make something a little more modern. But the thing I think that really is kind of fun is that you have so many options with doing different edges and different designs when it's a simple straight line. So yes, I hope you're excited as me. I'm going to go through these. We are having a sale. These are live online here now, and I don't know if you can get the comments up in the.
Yep, I'm trying to get
okay,
that.
Okay, sure, good. Yep, but we have a sale through Sunday. These are all discounted. The sets are the best deal. You can buy all 3 for like 26% off. So that'll be the cheapest. Oh yeah, see somebody's talking about you can't hear it. So yeah.
Can't hear.
So everybody else can hear. They have sound, so I think we're good. Must be on your end somewhere. Check your feed. Penny Paul, hey Penny. And these I think are going to be. Speaking of Penny, I think these are great for classes and events, and also individually for gifts and for art fairs, craft fairs. I think it's a great thing. So we're kind of pushing these through really quickly. We just got these yesterday, and we're going to be ready to ship on Monday. But I wanted you to have some time to make some for those events you have coming up for the fall. So sorry, we don't always are not always able to do things over the summer like these new things. So it's a little bit pushing it for time, but I still think you have 2 or 3 months to make these for the Christmas season. So yeah, you can hear us in Switzerland. Awesome. Hello, Switzerland. You have a beautiful country. Yeah. Big candy corn. Oh, there you go. See, all kinds of ideas. Pizza. Candy corn dish. That's even better for October, man. Penny, you're a superstar. So yeah. So none of the distributors have these yet. Unfortunately, we have we're small, so we can kind of push these through, which is bad news for the distributors. And so they don't have them, so don't bother them yet. Maybe in a couple weeks they'll have these. I just want to warn you, I don't want you to scream at me too much, but we are going to be rolling out new stuff like every couple weeks here for the next 6 weeks. So a lot of new stuff coming down the pipe here. So if you are in the market for studio events or sales, then I would buy these now. And the discount, we're going to have initial discounts on all of the items, like when they get released. So it's the best time to buy when they're the first weekend they're released, because it'd be the best price you can get. Hi, Luann. Luann's here. People from here, Barwood Art from Tucson. Sherry, yeah, candy corn. Yep. Salute. Oh yeah. It doesn't say who it is. It just says Instagram user. So maybe I should know who you are. But salute. So, and we did send out some. Especially, I feel bad for the international, like Switzerland exit, for example. There is, that time difference. So, yeah, and it's super expensive to ship, like, quickly. So, hopefully we can get these all pushed out to everybody that's interested in having them, carrying them. So, yeah. So, any questions about that? So, lots of fun things coming up. I'm going to be in Toronto in 2 weeks at Tucker's, and won't be doing trees, but be doing a demo workshop. Then I'll be at Aardvark for the open house. We hopefully will probably have some trees there, maybe, but your best route is, you know the deal. So depends how fast you want them. Deb Del Cruz, there she is in the house. All right, hi Deb. And yes, so I would assume maybe Deb's gonna, unfortunately, she's amazing, so who knows when it'll work out for her to have these made in cutters, but we'll see. Be at CCSA this weekend? No, unfortunately not. Maybe Deb is probably, yeah. She's probably joining us from CCSA. That's right. Good point, Luann. You know it. So that's happening. That's over in Missouri. So, but I'm sure Debbie just had to come in and check it out. What Jeff's up to? Yes, yep. Hello from CCSA. Looking forward to Aardvark. Aardvark is a fun event. It's in California, and it's a big distributor, and they usually have a really nice event there. So, yeah, hopefully you thought about the European stores. Not any yet, but coming soon, hopefully. Yes. So, all right. Well, let's get to it. Let's make some. Oh, let me shoot. It's hard to focus on all this stuff and have it all. Everything comes so fast, and there's so much going on. But these new Wallies, these are Wallies, so they have the straight edge, and they have this new finger pull thing. It's not really new. We have, just like we have on the casserole forms, we're going to start to incorporate that with some of the Wally forms, and I think this one is a really good start. And part of it was we debated about, like, do we have a hole in there? Do we put an insert in the hole? How do we do that? Like, what's the next step? So we decided, I think this is the best route for going as this new kind of finger pull route. Oh yeah, I'm gonna miss you at game night too, Debbie. Sorry, little distractions here for everybody. Canada, not the Canadian distributors yet. Oh yeah, they're saying Deb would be awesome if you had a Canadian distributor. Yeah, they it's tricky. I know, like, we're lucky that we can produce so many so quickly. Where Debbie, I don't know if you know, but how hard she works to make the volume that that she kind of needs. So then to have that volume for distributors is really tricky. So it's a lot of printing. It's a lot of hours on those printing machines. So where I can cut these out in 5 or 10 minutes, taking her 50 minutes, an hour and a half sometimes. So, yes. So I know but the problem really for the Canadian situation, I think, is the border, and they make us pay to ship it to you, or you end up being paying for that extra shipping cost to go across that border, as you know, unfortunately. So, yeah. Yep. So, anyway, so backing up, let's just talk about one more talk here about the features. So you can see we have this one is 4 on the bottom by 8 tall, and then this one's 8 by 10, 8 on the bottom, 10 on top, and the big one is 10 by 12, I believe. Or no, 8 on the bottom. Wait, so 4 by 8, 6 by 10, 8 by 12. And they're kind of oscillated triangles. And the nice thing is that they will stack with each other. They will nest really well. So theoretically, once you get done making them, there's enough room in there to be able to have them nest. So I think they'll be a great new item for the Christmas season and for all your making joys. So I'm going to do a couple different things here, showing you how I would use them, little tips and techniques, things I've kind of gone through. And with these new finger pulls, I think it's a little bit of things to talk about as well, but for the most part, it's a good product for the beginner to the advanced. So, lots of opportunity for everybody involved. So, yeah. Any other messages over there on the right side there? Seems like there's maybe nothing.
Oh, I don't know why it was.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't toggle on its own for some reason. So, Delaney's here in the house helping out.
Woo.
Just doing some did all the graphics and stuff for the new product, so we're ready to kind of get going here. All right, so I rolled out some clay. Actually, I'm going to start over just so you get the full deal. Maybe in the Instagram. Hopefully you can see good here. We have a new monitor up on top here, so hopefully I can stay in the picture of Instagram. It kind of automatically crops for us, so we don't always tell where that is, so it's kind of nice to be able to see that, so I can keep in the frame here. Oh yeah, good work. And then we can even toggle between a downward camera and a forward camera. So I'm prepping this slab with the rib. I love these, these yellow mud tool ribs, and it's got this nice pressure that allows me to compress the clay. So I'm not squishing the clay so it squishes out. I want to maintain my thickness, but I want to make sure that those particles are all kind of pushed together. Yeah, and so now I compress it. Now I want to release the clay, and then this step, be careful that you're not stretching the clay too much. And on these little forms you can get away with a lot of that, but the bigger forms, then you gotta have to watch out. So I'm a big fan of, and I feel like this works really well, to not really handle the clay as little as possible. So by using 2 boards, we can flip the clay right over. I'm using these little 10 by 12 boards here, and yeah. So now the thing is, you feel like you want to just really squish this clay here right now, right? But what you want to do is kind of gently push this clay down. And the reason you want to kind of gently, don't get too excited. Make this first step slow and easy and methodical, gentle. Let that clay kind of start to realize where the form is, because if we get too quick, the clay gets a little bit uneven, and uneven or stress or areas that are vulnerable, we'll say, have a chance to crack or slump in the kiln. So we don't want that to happen. So first is kind of pushing that clay towards the form, and maybe with an up motion. So it's really kind of helping to maintain the thickness of the clay. These I made just a slight bit thicker, give me a little more room for air, and it's just a little bit over 1/4 of an inch thick. Okay, you can see great on. Yeah, much improved hopefully from the last couple of weeks. It's all new that we can add Instagram into our one streaming software here, Ecamm Live, and so it's some adjustments that we've had to make. So, any other comments over there on the? Yeah, that's good. All right, good. And so now, second is to do more of a medium pressure, and you kind of just want to make strokes with your fingers. You don't want to make grooves in the clay with your fingers. If you're making grooves, you're pushing too hard. And then third, I want to come back with a rib, and because I'm using the small form, I'm just going to use this small one. You know how I like to have all the different sizes. This is a small, and then the next size above. And that really helps, I think, with being to have nice even pressure with that compression, right? And then make sure on this edge, I don't know if you can quite see on that down camera, it's not quite that clarity, but there's like, you can see if the clay starts to stress, then you know that so maybe change the angle of where you're pushing from, or push up so the clay isn't kind of coming down over that edge so severely, stressing the clay. We want to eliminate the stress on the clay. As potters, as makers, we got to be able to handle this stress of it not working out, but the clay doesn't. It just does what it does, right? So the more you work with it, the better chance it's going to work back with you. It's funny, it's almost got like its own little life here, huh?
Someone said that this is a good shape to make ghost plates for Halloween.
Ah, yeah, see?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. See, and that's the thing, right, with these straight edges, is that you have so many options of how you can treat that edge. And it totally makes sense, you know, like we're kind of programmed to think, you know, this is the shape, this is what it's supposed to be like. But, you know, we are makers, so we can do whatever we want to do to that edge, right? So I'm just going to make this one kind of wavy. And that's also the beauty of, you know, and I get it. Some of you don't want to make those choices and want it to be the same over and over. So then that's where you have Deb comes into play and can make you a cutter. But for me, I want to, you know, I want to play more. I want to make everyone just have its own little life and spirit. So there you go. We'll maybe switch to that front camera, maybe. Mm-hmm. We'll see. But don't even really worry yet about you know, if this side is thicker than this side. We can make those adjustments on the other side. So just make a nice even cut and let it kind of do its thing. So I can already see like this side is a little bit wider than the other, and I'm gonna do it, but I know better. I can just I'm gonna recut this one now just to see if we get less things to fix. But you can see how, and that variety, that just that little bit of difference kind of gives it its own personality. So let it be. All right, so now we cut that edge, and this is no spacer underneath. So it creates this nice kind of form, but still, I'm going to flip it over here so I don't mess with that clay that much. And I think it's so fascinating, isn't it? This is a really good example of like, didn't it feel like on the outside like this was so close and so tight to the form? And you can see how it's really not. So it's, I love it. And so now I can hold the clay with one hand down and then lift with these finger holes to release the form. And I highly recommend that you keep releasing this form. Okay? If this one didn't seem to really flop down very much, but if it starts to flop down a little bit when you lift it up, flip it back over and then kind of compress that side again and then come back and release that form. You don't really need you don't need to what was I going to say? You don't really want to leave that form in there. It was something else, but I forgot already. And then it's kind of fun if you have some stamps. There's so many little different procedural things now that you have to figure out. Like, how are we going to decorate this slab? Can we use a rolling pin? Can we not? Like, how can we decorate it? And I think with this particular shape, you know, we really just want to have it in that bottom portion anyway. The outsides are not as visible visually, so we can adjust. And I don't know if this will help you, because I know there's so many of you out there that do this. Is I will not mess with this edge with a sponge. Even though this is the clay that I'm using today is A-Mix from Amico, which is very similar to B-Mix, except it's A-Mix instead of B. It's like first rate. That the tendency would be is to clean that edge, but I feel like I'm going to move that clay with a sponge. I want to wait till I have the clay is a little more dry and a little more resistant. So yeah. So I'm going to step away from this piece, start to make a new one. Don't touch it. Let me just switch, just for time purposes, over here, because I want to show you a full thing here. See how much things, I want to do a rolling one next, and then I wanted to do a maybe even a transfer. So here's one I made yesterday, and so it's leather hard, so it's got that resistance I was just talking about. So now I can take my rasp and kind of clean up those edges. Ooh, this one is really sharp, so it's kind of bouncing along there. Once you use it a couple times, it fixes that. Gets comfortable, get some clay in there. But I can just use this. So I like to kind of clean up those edges, make a mess with all these shards, and even things out when it's leather hard. So maybe this one is a little bit big on the top. And at this leather hard stage, you can lift it up and it doesn't flex at all. It's like really durable. So now, sorry, Instagram. Now I can do this backside as well. You can go to that front camera, I think, Delaney, because I think it'll be better translated for Instagram. Yeah. So you get the idea. And now I will come with my edge rounding rib. And then I can straighten out this edge. So no sponge at all for me here. And I have found, for me, this works like in a production level to be able to, for things to dry more evenly and to be more efficient. So if I need to make 20 or 30 of these in a day or two, I think not using the sponge really helps. So give it a try. You got to do what works for you. And I know there's a lot of other amazing people out there that use sponges and figured it out, but maybe it's just my level of patience. But I definitely think, like, you know, for time's sake, I'm trying to do the least amount of steps as possible. Ooh, that's interesting how it. I haven't had that do it that bad in a long time. The shredder is vibrating, and I think it's because it's so sharp. So it made this like little pattern on the side here. Yeah, see, it's pretty flat. So now what I would do is now I have this edge cleaned. I have everything made. Now what I would do is make sure that your board will cover it completely. Support up, not quite. So I'm going to move this to a bigger board. And I'm going to let it dry upside down. And I'm going to let it just dry out in the air evenly. And just let it kind of do its thing. So then I could come over and I could fix this one up and clean up this edge, round off the edges, and let it dry upside down. So if I can, especially if it doesn't have a really wide lip, it's much better for it to kind of use its own weight to kind of hold it in place as it shrinks. So I'm just using gravity to my advantage to do that. What's wrong with you, little guy? Oh, interesting. Maybe we learned something new too. Oh yeah. So all the tricks. Yeah, I just learned new is that sometimes these replacement blades don't fit on very well, but if I move it over just a little bit, it'll fit on there better because there's a little bit of groove in there. So there's always adjustments, no matter what. Let's see, Bill. Hello, just made my mom a deep pasta plate with the RD 360 today. So happy. Oh, good, good. Those RD2s are really nice, right? Dinner time. Okay, yeah, can't skip dinner. I don't blame you on that one bit. Glacier Con. That must be a little resource for a past video, maybe. No discount code. We have them priced. You can see when you go online in GR Pottery Forums, you see that there's a discount. And I don't believe the ClayShare discount should not work for these because we already have them on sale. So all the other items it will work, but these are sale items, like special buy items. So today the ClayShare discount will not work for that. Shouldn't. And yeah, if it is, you're double dipping, and I'm going to come after you. Not enough? Come on, I try to give you everything. And if you really want the Glacier discount, I'm going to be the sponsor of October Glacier, so then there'll be a good Glacier discount. So today it's just direct right from the boss here, and yeah. All right, get rid of my crumbs here. Let's see. Any other things I missed?
Someone asked for hints at what other new things are coming.
Ooh, oh yeah. Oh, you're just sorry. I know. I feel like I'm just a little better in that the secret category than Jessica. I'm pretty bad, but it's only going to be 2 weeks, so you can probably predict. I'm pretty predictable, so you can kind of predict what's coming. So yeah, if you follow along enough, which I know you do, you will find out. I mean, you would know. I mean, that's what I meant to say. You will know what's up, Jeff's. I'm 80% predictable. 20% nobody will ever predict. Definitely not even Gretchen. She's still trying to figure me out. Yep. I don't know. Maybe myself. So it depends on different things. Oh, Barbara, you're on the right track. Oh, maybe, huh? Yeah, well, you have to look at Barbara's comment. Yeah, because I had some of the new, okay, so it's on there. I forgot. Some of you know, and I don't also like to know that some of you know and others don't. But I brought some oval RD2s to the expo, so I guess I wasn't bad. I already brought some samples there, so yeah, that's in 2 weeks, and there's some other stuff to go along with that as well. So yeah. There we go. Slice of pie. Yeah, won't these be nice, like little ramekins to make like little mini cheesecakes or something? Little brie dishes. I mean, it's endless. And again, I'm such a fan of, and sorry, I really would love to just be able to produce like every shape imaginable, but it's so complicated to keep inventory, just all the stuff to get all the stuff to distributors. So there's so many different factors involved with the manufacturing side. Yeah, it's that. Hi, Sheila. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, fun parties. I can see you really liking these. These would be great. All right. Now, I'm probably going to be starting to carry MKM tools, and I think they're wonderful tools. There's so many other ones out there too, but what is the case if you wanted to use a roller? Well, I would recommend that it's really difficult with these kind of walled edge sides to have that texture translate really well on the sides. So what I'm going to do is to kind of think about that general area of oh yeah, there's Matt making a lot of noise. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, you can see it's a working warehouse here, just outside the studio. We do everything here. But I put that line down there, but I erased it too fast. I got distracted. But what I want to do is, I'm just going to add this fun texture of these reindeer and trees. Oh man, look at that. Oh no, wait. I thought I was lining something up fancy, but really not. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to make a mark here. And I just eliminated the mark, but I'm going to put it back in. And obviously you can kind of adjust it if you need to before. But I just now marked where that form was. And now I'm going to just take my rib here and clean up. It's way easier to clean it when it's flat than when it's on the side, right? And it's probably going to get all distorted and look strange. So we'll just eliminate it. So I'm just going to keep this nice, fun Christmas texture in the bottom of my form here. You got that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so actually maybe even do a top down. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Let the camera adjust a little bit. So you can see how now the texture is just in the space where the form is going to be. And pretty magically, I've always been amazed at this, that even though we're going to kind of compress that clay on the outside, it will maintain that texture on there. So now I'm going to line it up with my little lines on there, right? Make sure the clay is released. This is the important part, which honestly most of the time I forget, so we gotta readjust. Yeah, sorry about that Instagram angle. I think it's kind of interesting on how it really cuts out a lot of space, so I really gotta I'll get better at that, I promise. If it's probably a lot better angle on YouTube or Facebook. We're live streaming to all three at the same time. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. So now I'm just gonna do. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? This time, I'm gonna add this prop underneath there. And in the past we would use a spacer, right? But we're going to try to avoid one extra thing that you have to have. And if you still have them, you can still use them. But and if you really want to use them, I purposely made all these with an option that you can actually drill a hole in there still to be able to add that spacer in there if you really want to. But I think we're going to try to get away with not really using an actual having to have to use the spacer. I guess is how we're decided. In-depth conversation at the shipping station over here with Matt. At the end of the day, didn't quite make it to the staff meeting, but. You got the idea, right? I'm just going to remove some of this clay a little bit too, because sometimes it gets in the way of getting down to where it needs to go. So if we get rid of the clay that we're not going to need. And I'm going to remember that kind of first stage still, gently kind of push things in place. I'm kind of more on the middle stage of kind of pushing against the form. And then what's that third stage? Little rib, 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 rib. Ah. I have to fix that. It automatically tied in the. So you're saying that I can't come after you, huh? Uh-huh. I know it. Gonna find you. No. Oh, see, you deleted the code. Oh, good. Oh. It's all good if it goes if you can't get it to do that, that's all fine. For me, it's not about the money. It's about the making you guys successful and everybody making it successful. Unfortunately, the money part is to make everything kind of continue, but yep. So you get the idea, and I'm not going to spend too much time, but I would come through and clean up that a little bit better. See here, and now what I can do is flip this over. I could have used the board to help do that, but it's in pretty good state here. Now I'm just going to use my little, and I got to find an excuse, to use my Dirty Girl slingshot tool. And if you just let it ride, let it along the edge of that form, cuts really nicely. Like a really fancy cheese cutter, right? So now I can kind of straighten out this edge, fix anything that, make it look even. And it's all about appearance. Like, on the edge is where it's really important. Below the edge, it might be thicker or bulgy, but we can fix that later too. But now you can see here, I want to, it's kind of like compress, then release, compress, then release. Now we're back to compressing here again. And the longer that wood stays in there, the harder it is to release. Oh yeah. Ah, look at that. I'll turn it around the other way here. Mm-hmm. You can see the nice little decoration in there. We could add stuff to the sides or whatever later. And it might be nice to add a rim here too, like a coil or something. It can make like a Christmas ornament style. I love the Christmas theme. But, as you guys are talking about, you could do all kinds of different stuff if you're making it a ghost or whatever. You can add little stuff to the top here now, embellishments, right? So that's where it becomes your piece, your own personal work, right? So, all right, I think I got time for one more fun thing. Make one more. And the beauty of these forms, right, is that I've been using the same form for all of them, right? And it does help if you let it, if it gets really kind of moist and wet, then let it dry out. But for the most part, you're good to go here. All right. Now, kick it up a notch. Is, everybody out there makes fun underglaze transfers. So what I did was I put the form on here like so, and then make sure there's enough space for the sides, and then cut about a little over an inch. I drew a line, and then I just cut it out like about an inch or so, or more than an inch actually, around that edge. But another important thing I did was I made a cut on the corners so that you can see how so when it starts to come upwards, it's able to kind of fold around the form. Got it? And I didn't do it. Let's see if we can see it. Okay, good. We can still see it. It might even be good to use a Sharpie on this side. On the non-underglaze side. And because this is going to come off anyway. Just to help you line it up once you have it transferred. I don't know, we can put this line on here just for, it's kind of cut, so it probably made a mark on the clay, but that's okay. So you can kind of see, maybe the top count, you can see how it's got that that mark on there. And so it then I can basically, once I transfer this image onto the slab here, I can then lift it up. And I think if I'm just gonna because I made these slits, I'm just gonna leave that underglaze transfer paper right on there until it gets leather hard. All right. So now it's in place. Now we just need a roller. There it is. The clay is wet enough. With a little pressure, you can start to see the color change. But it will just, once it starts to moisten from that clay, it will transfer right over. Ooh, so you guys are getting the, what is it, GR 402. It's like senior level class here. It's not 101. We went from 101 to 404 here. Last class before you graduate. And you can do a little peek if you need to. See how it's transferring on there. Ooh, and look at that. You know, especially where I on the outside I didn't push as hard, so you can put it back down here. Put that back, let it transfer a little more. But this rice paper that it's printed on is magical stuff, I think. It's so flexible and pliable. So now, we might even be able to reveal here. So now see, we got it lined up with that Sharpie marker on both sides. Oh. And let's see here, where'd my other board go? Missing one? Oh, there it is. So I hope this is like a really fun item for you to use in your studios. Too bad. See, that's why I can't really do CSA, because I never quite had enough. This would have been an awesome project for CCSA, which is CCSA is a contemporary studio organization. And you should look it up if you're a studio. They have some great resources for, that felt a little funny when I shifted it. So it feels a little funny. Before you get too crazy, let's just do another flip. Just double check, triple check. And it stayed pretty good. I was worried that it shifted, but it still stayed pretty good with those Sharpie marks. CCSA is a really good organization if you're like a studio business. And it seems expensive, but if you're going to be in business, you need to do those types of things. And if you can't afford it, then you got the wrong business. Sad as it is, but it's true. All right, any other thing that I needed to talk about? Anything popping up there, Lee? Not really.
Not really. Someone asked what the tool was you used a little while ago, the slingshot tool.
Oh yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
All right. Yeah, the slingshot tool. It's really it's a beauty because it looks like a slingshot, but it really is a really nice contraption to hold a wire to be able to cut. Noticing now here, maybe I need a little bit of a prop again to make sure that this, and the clay is starting to thicken up a little bit, or I mean not thicken up, dry up a little bit, so it's not molding over as quickly as it could. So you just have to kind of make adjustments, you know, right? I like the clay to be really wet. Not like dripping wet, obviously, but like really quick to mold. You know, like here it's kind of creating, I'll move up a little bit probably. It's creating some resistance. You know, it doesn't push one way, it goes the other direction. But it's just a matter, it just takes a little bit longer to kind of coax it into place. And the reason I made those slits in the underglaze transfer is so that it will kind of release and one will overlap with the other. So maybe need to get rid of some of this clay. Sometimes when it's stiffer, and it's only like 30 minutes, 40 minutes difference, you know, like it's crazy. 60 minutes maybe difference. And obviously you can kind of worry about this paper. I know a lot of times, I know everybody likes to worry about it, lots of things, but you don't really need to worry about it in your, it's like paper clay. Come paper clay, just put it in your recycling. If you're a recycler, it'll recycle fine. All the color will blend. If not, it'll create this kind of fun one-time experience. Sometimes people don't like those things, but that's the joy of using raw material. Serendipity, and the more you love it, the better it turns out. If you're afraid of it and worried about it, it's going to look terrible. So just embrace it. Let it be, do what it does. Asymmetric form. I'm not really sure what those would be. Yeah, you have to. We got spherical ones. Oh, I think what you mean is really like, I think I know now, like more organic shapes. We kind of alluded to this before, like, my belief is that you can make that edge asymmetric without the form being asymmetric. So you can, so that's why I like to make just general shapes pretty much. It gives you way more options. And then I don't have to carry 400, 1,200 different sizes and shapes, right? It's like, I can carry all the basics and then you can do all the fun stuff. So, the RD2s are great for those types of shapes too, like the rounds and even just a round one for any kind of shape, because really the round part just gives it that kind of that definition of containment. All right. I'm not afraid. For me, failure is part of the making process of clay. You have to be okay with failure, and you just have to try to eliminate the failure over and over again, right? And the failure, I'm just saying, is maybe my underglaze transfer didn't work out like I thought it was going to work, but we'll find out. And even this paper still cuts pretty good. It's where I probably would, in this case, you kind of have to figure out what the problem is and then make a solution on how to deal with that in the future. So, like, I was just thinking in my head, like, that's probably what you're wondering, right? What is he thinking in his head? That this is a case where this might be a perfect form to add another coil or something to the lip to cover up. It's kind of like having trim in a house, right? Like, there's gonna be a strange gap. So how do we make that gap look beautiful? Turn the lemons into lemonade, right? Oh yeah, here we go. And you know, obviously, every time I would refine this, especially if I'm selling the work, like here, you know, I can fix that all up. But I'm just gonna do this reveal because. Oh yeah. Love it. And we could leave that on there for a while, but look how nice that looks. Oh. And you know, there were some scraps left over. So if you need to make repairs, just add little spots on there. If you want to put some on the outside, do that as well. But I think the joy in my mind is that you have so many options and opportunities to succeed amongst the failure that clay can kind of create sometimes. So yeah, so now I just got to clean up this edge, and I would wait till it gets leather hard, because even at leather hard I can still add the soft leather hard I can still add a coil if needed to kind of refine that edge. So all right, no discount code. There's no discount code today. It's all discounts already on there, and you can go and get that. So the sale, it's like, I think anywhere from like 13% as much as 26%, depending on which forms you get, if you get all of them. And we have a pretty good supply. Yeah, but the sale's going to go on through Sunday evening. So yes. Pottery plus philosophy, yeah. Yes, that is my life, is making the simple complex, right? Yeah, and the simpler it is, the more complex it is. Woo, yeah. Great to see you guys too. Oh, Myra, now I can see, over here it just says Instagram, and I see up here. Yeah, I hope to see you in February, Myra. Yep, if not before. So, we'll see how the fall goes. Well, the trimming tool, yeah, that was this, it's the Dirty Girls trimming tool. But you can use, there's other things on the market. You can use a pin tool. You can really even use a wire and like just go along the edge, like dental floss. You can use dental floss. So it just depends on what you want to do. But if you're a tool fan, the Slingshot is the premium tool for this process. So yeah, pottery tools made by potters for potters, and so those are the best tools, right? Yeah. So all right, well, I hope it's something you're interested in, and definitely let us know if you have any questions about anything. And yeah, we're trying to I'm still surprised. Everything is about timing, I guess, right? So it's not always in my timing, but I think it's a good time to have these deeper forms. I think they're ideal for a classroom setting. That's my really my unexpected process that I thought that is really good, because sometimes teachers or studios are looking for kind of an easy project that anybody can do. I think this is a good one for that. So these wallies, the walled edge ones. The other nice thing is you can decorate them pretty quickly too. So even if you get some underglaze transfers or have them decorate them within an hour or 2 hour class, they can have a pretty nice looking piece and not have to come back, except to just pick up the finished fired piece. So do we have a 9-inch pasta bowl form? Well, you could make pasta bowls in so many different ways. We do have a 9 or 9.5? 9.5 inch bottom, and then you can use RD2 9.5, and you could stack it on top of a 11-inch OG, or you could start with a 9.5 OG and add a 8-inch one on there. So if you look up the No Drill Bowl Bundle, that might show you some options of making pasta style bowls. It's just everybody has a different. It's kind of like if you just like chocolate chip cookies, we'll say. We'll skip and get in the food category here. Even though everybody does the same ingredients, there's so many ways you can make them. So we have lots of ways you can make pasta bowls. It's just a matter of what your expectation is and what you're kind of looking for. So, but yeah, lots of different options. So, all right, everybody, kind of went over this a little bit here today, but I think it's a great time, and we'll probably see you next week here again, and go from there. So, thank you all, and we'll see you soon.